Hi everyone, welcome to the mix room. This is Dami. Today's video is about gain staging, and this is a response to a request that I got in one of my previous videos about doing a video about gain staging. Now, few things I want to share quickly before we go on. This is a track that I just imported into the session, so we are almost basically starting from the basics, and I haven't like really heard this track until I put it up here. And this is a track I downloaded from somewhere in the past, and it sounded like probably from Pure Mix, and I think Chris Lodalji must have mixed this song initially, right? It's called Indestructible. So gain staging is definitely important, right? I've seen people not understand this, and what I mean is especially producers maybe who just started recording, and you would see even while they are producing, everything is clipping. Gain staging needs to be done properly even from the production stage before you come into mixing. Let's say you're mixing your songs yourself, or your client sends songs to you. What do I think about gain staging? This is how the first thing I would say is how maybe you can get a loud mix. And it's not like a loud mix, but if you were to send your song to a mastering engineer to master it after you're done mixing, if you don't have headroom in there, the mastering engineer is going to struggle to, maybe compress the track or limit it or make it louder without introducing distortion. That is point one. Now, on the individual track, you have the gain staging you're going to do on individual tracks, audio tracks, and then you want to think about your master bus, which is where we talk about the headroom that you need to get. So, when your signal on the channel is too low, your plugins might not get the best input, or I might not be working at the optimal level. So you need to get a good signal on that individual track. And when this track is also too loud, it can might not be it can pose a problem. Let me put it that way. Now, all these things I'm telling you, there are no hard rules at all, because some of them I break them when I mix. On the individual track, I can see my clip, they are way above, close to zero, but they're not clipping, and I'm okay with it because I just like the sound. And sometimes you mix some songs that the audio level on your meter is going to be so tiny. That means sometimes maybe the instrument is not one of the main instruments, and that is fine also. But few things that you must always pay attention to is number one, there's a difference between your gain and your volume. So gain is where you control everything coming into that audio track. And in some cases, you call it your clip gain. Clip gain. When it's in the DAW, you call it the clip gain. And your volume is basically post, whatever you've done on that audio track. So let's jump right in Pro Tools here. Here is the track. I try to label them. This is the bass and group them. Drums right here. Like I said, everything else is in maybe blue, so I didn't label it. The goal is just to show you gain staging today. So if I get a mix like this, I load them in. As you can see, everything is zeroed out, nothing, and there's no clip gaining at all that has been done on this track. Let me clean up some things here. So on the clip, I want to hide the name. Okay, there you go. So it's easier to see. Okay. First things first, I've routed all of these tracks into a mix bus, which is right here. And of course, I also have my master fader. So we're going to play a part of the song, and I'll tell you exactly what are the things that I'm looking for. First of all, I need to make sure that my master track, or the meter, is not clipping. If it's clipping going into the red, that's a red flag. Also, if I don't have any headroom on my master track, that is also another big red flag. Because if you don't have headroom at the beginning of the mix, you're probably never going to get headroom and at the end of the mix, because things would most likely get louder as you boost EQ, as you do all other things in the song. So let's keep that in mind. So I'm going to play maybe kind of the loudest part of this song right here, and we'll make the decision from there.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little louder. I will have you frozen, wrapped in tangled. The place heats up.
Okay, that's good. I have a meter right here. We're not going to use this one though, but I just want to show you, and I want to see for myself what is going on.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little louder.
So as you can see, this is peaking over 0 dB. And if anything is going over 0 dB, that is bad. So we have an issue here. First thing, the song feels balanced, right? This is I think the way the artists have been listening to this song. It's not like one of those songs where everything sounds horrible. This actually sounds really, really good. It just means that we need to control it. If right now we're already clipping, we need to do something about the gain. All right. One way to do this, so this is the first step, is before I do anything, I'm going to pay attention to the individual tracks. Are the individual tracks at where I will call it an optimal level, where it's not too low and it's also not too loud? If the answer is it's where I like it to be, I will move to a different method of controlling my gain. It's as simple as that. And I know that people do this, 18 dB for individual tracks. And to be honest, I don't do that. I actually don't look at any numbers. I just use my eye to gauge the meter, right? That's all I do. It's not about hearing now. It's about seeing, using your eyes to see where is that. And I'm not sure if that is 18 dB. So I'm going to expand. We'll probably focus on some of the drums, especially the kick and snare drum. So they have a bunch of kick here, which I kind of grouped. That's the only thing I did here. So let's actually just play it together. So I'm playing the kick and I'm looking at the individual channel, right? It seems to be at a very optimal level where I like it to be visually now. All right, so I'm in Pro Tools also. I'm using the Pro Tools Classic. That's the meter type that I'm using. Sometimes I switch between like maybe digital VU, but I just stick to Pro Tools Classic here. All right, and like I said, the volume seems very okay to me. The way is that, right? Where is that right now? The metering. Play it again. All right, that's perfect. I'm going to look at other things. Maybe the bass drum also grouped, or the bass, I mean. Yeah, that's the way I think the producer wants to hear that bass. So I'll leave it the way it is. Let's move to the snare drum. Let's just see the waveform. That's all I'm looking at. Not the waveform, the way it's hitting on the meter. That sounds, that looks good. We might turn it down a bit, turn it up a bit. Not up for sure, but maybe down a bit, depending on what it is. So now that I can see, for the most part, from the waveform, these are probably the biggest waveforms in the track right here. As you can see, way bigger than some of these guys here. So what is my next step? We're still clipping. Right, so what do I do next? Here, let me reduce this. I would say now, if this isn't clipping on the individual level and only my master is clipping, the number one thing I would do is not worry about clip gaining anything yet. Clip gaining should be when things are, just horrible on the individual levels. and or just super loud and individual tracks are clipping, the first thing you want to do is to clip gain. But here, I wouldn't do it. I'm routing everything to a mix bus right now. I literally can just go to the mix bus and put a trim plugin on the mix bus and play it and turn it down to where things feels good or looks good on the meter right here. I'm using look now because that's what I'm um I'm doing, not actually feeling or hearing. All right, so let's play and I'll just turn this down maybe by 6 dB or 9 dB. Let's see.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little louder. I will have you frozen, have to take over. The place heats up when we grab the mics, the beat drops down and the people move a little faster. I feel myself becoming indestructible. When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little louder. I will have you frozen.
All right, so to me, that just looks good. And I've turned it down 7.5 dB. There is now enough headroom. We have a good, proper balance, I would say. Right now, everything is still coming out from the middle channel. So when we begin to pan things left, right, too, that would control some of the volume, maybe jump that we can hear, right? That we're hearing right now. So this is gain staging. Individual tracks feels good. All I want to do is to make sure I have enough headroom and avoid clipping. And I've just gone on my mix bus and I've turned things down by maybe 7.5 dB. And from here on out, I can start to mix. It's as simple as that, right? Not maybe the difficult thing to get right sometimes is on the individual track. Okay, so I've done that. That's number one. But let's say um, that I am going to actually maybe exaggerate things and I'm going to select all the track and then push them up by, let's say, I'll leave this here for now on the mix bus. Push them up by maybe 20 dB. And what you're going to see is the clip gain right here. The waveform is going to get bigger. There are a few ways to do this in Pro Tools. I can just hold Shift Control and use the mouse wheel, or press the up and down arrow on your keyboard. When you press the up and down arrow, it goes up by 0.5 dB and then 1 dB, as you can see there. There is another way to do this. If you don't want to do all that, you can turn on the clip gain line. So by showing the clip gain line, and then I can just drag and move up, I'm going to do that right now. If you're in Logic, I know each Logic has individual clip gain. I don't use Logic, but I know they have it. I've used it. I don't have Logic, I don't use it, but I've used Logic, if that makes sense. So now I'm just pushing all of the tracks up, right? We've gone up 8 dB, that's 12 dB at this point, or 13. It looks like 13. I'm trying to demonstrate something. So we are up about 19 dB, I believe. So let me solo the kick in mic, or just the kick drum. Okay. So this is an example, right? You see, my stuff is still turned down because that's going to be too super loud. 7.5 dB. The master is turned down already. But let's say, as you can see on the individual track right here, it's going into the red. Is it clipping? Yes, I can hear the clipping, but it's not showing red in my Pro Tools meter right here. Let's see every other thing. You see right now? That's clipping. That is horrible. That's not what you want. So if the gain stage is like this, and remember, right, the fader is still at 0. So this is not a fader problem at all. If I turn down the faders it won't fix the problem. Your fader is kind of the volume, which is the post fader, like just volume. But your gain is affecting the gain coming into that individual track. That's what your plugin is listening for. That's what your plugin is going to react to. So that's an example. If you get a track like this, and I can guarantee you, maybe in your in your lifetime, you probably get tracks like this that are clipping on the individual tracks. So turn them down. Let's say this is what we got. Like, that's horrible, right? I'm gonna just turn them down until things begin to feel better. I'm scared to play the entire track because I think it's gonna be super loud. But let me just pull this down, maybe 12 dB here for now. Oh, but 9 dB. Okay, let's play it. Brace yourself, guys. Let's hear this.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little loud.
I don't know if anyone will produce a track like that, but all right, let's go again. Okay, I need to actually pull it down. I think we're back to maybe where we started, something like that.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little loud.
All right, I'm gonna push this back to.
Have you frozen around to take note? The place heats up when we grab the mics, the beat drops down and the
That is gain staging. Just two ways that you can things you need to know. Just make sure, I'll repeat again, your individual track should not be clipping, and also maybe I should do that, should not be too low. Low is also a problem. Like, let's say things are this low right here. So now your meter right here, I'm going to increase the waveform so you can see. This is not increasing the volume. This is just a Pro Tools thing, way for me to increase the waveform so it's bigger and smaller. But that's not changing the volume. So let's solo the kick drum. Now that's too low. If I put a plugin here, let's say SSL 9000J, this plugin is going to struggle to react because most plugins are designed to become effective at a certain input level, right? So if it's too low, they won't even hear this audio signal coming in because it's too low. So you need to amplify it, and by amplifying that sound just means turn up the gain, right? So that the plugin can hear it and begin to react. I'll show you an example here again. Just on this kick drum that we're playing, I've not done anything on the plugin. But notice that what you notice is when I begin to pull the gain up, clip gain, the kick drum, you actually start noticing in this plugin, for instance, right, compression begins to happen, even though it's set to, I don't know what this is, like, I guess 0 or something here, right, which is not supposed to compress, but it's going to start compressing because the signal is coming in really hot. All right, so I'm going to push this up. Let's just listen. Okay, let's go. Now we're getting somewhere that we don't want to get to. Okay. So you can see, first of all, here, it's telling me that I'm overloading. The light turns red, and you can see this is the gain reduction here. Even though the compressor is not engaged fully, it's already compressing. So your plugins definitely react to what your gain is like. And when you see the meter right here, it just feels it's getting way up there, and that's not what we want. Let's do that again. Now if I engage the compressor, right? Okay, so that was just an example. So that is clip gaining. I hope this was really helpful to you in a way. Individual tracks, make sure they don't clip. Another thing I should say, before we actually leave, for your mix bus, I've said a lot about the individual tracks, and maybe to help you out too, maybe on the mix bus, you can always target that negative 18 dB, even I don't do it, but I'll put maybe, let's see, VMR right here. And all I need on here is just a trim plugin. So remove all this. All right, now let's play. I'm going to bypass the other trim plugin here. This is just a trim on VMR. I'm using this because it has the VU meter right here. Oh, we must have turned. We need to push things back up again. All right. And this needs to be zeroed out. Oh, no, but no, how do I do that? Shift and then click. Ooh. Just doing that individually. Okay, 1 second. Let me get this right. So let's go back to 0. Everything back to 0 dB. Okay, that's fine. All right, it's gonna be loud now. It's gonna clip. Okay.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little louder. I will have you.
So as you can see, right, it's clipping. It's in the red zone if you're using the VU meter. So starting out, maybe I just want it to be around 0. And I believe the 0 here in the digital world is like, well, it's like negative 18 dB, right? So I'm going to just push this down to where it falls on like 0 here on this meter right here.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little louder. I will have you frozen, have to take over. The place heats up when we grab the mics, the beat drops down and the people move a little faster. I feel myself becoming indestructible.
All right, so that's what you can do. You grab a VU meter like this. I think I have the waves as well. VU, let me type VU. Let's see. Okay, let's try this one too. This is just a VU meter, right? So, but you can use the trim plugin before the VU meter, right, to push the volume in there. All right, let's try.
When we hit the stage, those bright lights turn on and the crowd gets a little louder. I will have you frozen, have to take over. The place heats up when we grab the mics, the beat drops down and the people move a little faster. I feel myself becoming.
So this is a good spot to be. We're not clipping. You have enough headroom. And the good thing is, if you start from this level right here, as you build the mix is going to get louder. So you still have enough headroom. So I'll say you can go with this waves VU meter right here. I'm only turning down about maybe almost 9 dB. And so that is gain staging. All right. So bye. Don't want to pull this, drag this video. So I hope this was beneficial, right, to you. And let me know if you have any questions. Just put them in the comment section below. And if you like the video, don't forget to just click that like button and also to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. When you subscribe and you comment, it lets me know that you guys are being blessed. You guys are love what I'm doing here, and I'm inspired to create more videos thinking about how to help the community. All right, so thank you so much, and bye bye guys.